My name is Anoriel and welcome to my channel. Here we do reactions, mostly on BL and GL content, and mostly from Asian countries. Today we are watching KinnPorsche Side Story that was released on YouTube. And I know, I'm like super late, a week late to this. To be honest, I just couldn't deal. Like, the fandom of KinnPorsche is so in flames right now with these camps that is going on. Like, either you love the show or you don't like the show, and I just, if you have a different opinion than, oh, everything is great in this show, you kind of get bullied out. And I just couldn't deal with all that right now. I had to focus on other things. But here we are, because I know a few of you reached out and asked, are you continuing this? You said you never dropped the show. I really think your voice is important in all of this madness. Someone needs to be, reasonable. So I will give it a try, I guess, to fight this to the end, because I don't want to drop a show. I'm just gonna react to it in my time and not in the time it's released, when I feel like it. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I think I also kind of decided that in my mind I will take out, I don't know how I will fix it, but I will like rewrite the rape scene in my mind, that it wasn't GHB, it was Vegas hitting Porsche on the head, he getting a light concussion, and he was disoriented when Vegas was trying to, hit him, and yeah, he freaked out on Vegas, but then he and Kinn obviously feel something for each other, and they had sex because he was like a bit loopy in the head. Because to me that makes more sense than the GHB thing, than the actual rape, if you look where we are now. Because it doesn't make sense. You don't... Like, I forgive you a long time ago. A long time ago! Dude, it was 4 days ago! 4 days! How is that And you were obviously traumatized in the episode before that. Like, it doesn't make sense. There is like no... I mean, you could argue Stockholm Syndrome, I guess, but it's a weird syndrome. It's very debatable. I would say it's like TV classic Stockholm Syndrome, if we're going with the rape. That is very much what you're trying to show us then, I guess, but with less toxicity, which just makes it weird. So yeah, in my mind, we just take out the drug, say he got hit on the back of his head, and he was loopy in the head, but still horny. Because that's the only way we can make this make sense. Yes, we have to rewrite the script to make it make sense. Yeah. And if you don't buy all of that ranting, and if you haven't followed my previous reaction, yeah, no, this is not... I have some issues with this show. I recommend you go to my episode 6 reaction and watch that intro, and then you will know what I feel is the matter. But basically the script and the framing. Like, not the cinematography, not the actors, but the basic framing, like the fact that they have 3 directors and they don't seem to talk to each other, and it just seems like random scenes that someone put together and thought, yeah, this is something, without like a clear story arc or anything. Yeah. And that's how I feel about the show. But yeah, let's watch this little side story, I guess, and see if we get any more. I'm just waiting for that episode when everything will click. Because sometimes that episode is in there. Like, you are like, I hate this. It doesn't make sense. Everything is just weird. And what is going on? And then there is this one episode where it's just, now I get it. Oh, I don't think it will be in here, but here is for hoping. Here is for hoping that we get that one episode that it all makes sense. And it's just not random shit they found on the editing floor. Yeah. Okay, side story. Talk to you afterwards.
คุณหมอแน่ใจแล้วใช่ไหมแล้วคินน่ะไอ้พอดไอ้คินน่ะไอ้คิน
What are you doing?
คุณหนู
Like, no, I don't think Kin is dead, because, you know, episode 7.
คุณหนูเงียบๆครับ
Yeah, no, definitely not.
ไอ้คินพ้นขีดอะไรแล้วมันแค่ยังไม่ฟื้นเฉยโอ้ยเล่นหาไม่รู้เรื่องเวลาอ้าวไอ้พอดนี่คุณหนูนะเว้ยเล่นไม่ได้เลยหรือไงโอ้โหอะไรของมันวะ
Well,
แล้วคินห้องไหนอ่ะนู่นห้องไหนนะนู่นมึงไปไหนอ่ะมันยังไม่ฟื้นเล่นใหญ่ขนาดนั้นวะกูเป็นพี่มันอ่ะกูยังไม่เล่นใหญ่ขนาดนั้นเลย
well, you know.
คุณคินเป็นไงบ้างครับ
ทุกอย่างปกติดีไม่มีอะไรน่าเป็นห่วงค่ะ
That's one big bed. I'm not sure it's very practical if, you know, you need stuff.
Oh. สวัสดีพอดพี่ลองยังไม่ฟื้นอีกเหรอ ยังเลย แล้วนี่เอาดอกไม้มาเยี่ยมคินเหรอ เปล่า ผมเอามาเยี่ยมพอดกุหลาบเหลือง แปลว่ามิตรภาพและความห่วงใยและยังมีความหมายแฝงแปลว่ารักที่ไม่ได้หวังสิ่งตอบแทน
Yeah.
งั้นผมขอตัวกลับก่อนนะ
What?
เอาไปแล้วเหรอ ถ้าอยู่ต่อพี่ลองอาจจะเสียอารมณ์ไปเปล่า
Why were
ๆ
you?
ไปก่อนนะพอด
เดี๋ยว
But I mean,
เอาดอกไม้ของมึงกลับไปด้วย
were you looking for Kin or were you looking for Porce? Like, what's
กูแพ้ดอกไม้
what's the reason?
เดี๋ยวมันจะติดตัวบริการดกู
Why were you in Kin's room with the flowers if you were looking for Porce to give them? Like, or well, maybe someone outside told you that Porce was, but still.
งั้นเดี๋ยวกูไปก่อนนะ ไม่กวนละ
จะไปไหน มึงจะปล่อยให้เจ้านายนอนคนเดียวจริงๆเหรอ
Easy.
Tama.
Okay.
มึงนอนคนเดียวไม่ได้ได้ไง กูลางานอยู่เว้ย
มึงจะกลับไปนอนคนเดียวจริงๆเหรอวะ โรงพยาบาลนี้ผีดุนะเว้ย
มึงคิดว่าพูดงี้แล้วกูจะกลัว
Oh, you are. I think you are. Yep.
กูไม่ได้กลัวนะ แต่ห้องนู้นแม่งเย็นเกิน
And all of a sudden he's hooked up to all of these
ทำไมตอนนั้น
machines.
มึงถึงกลับมา
But it seems better. Like,
มึงเคยทำอะไรที่ไม่มีเหตุผลปะล่ะ
เคย แล้วที่ปากูให้เวลามึงกลับไปคิด7 วัน สรุป มึงอยากกลับมาเป็นบอดี้การ์ดให้กูไหม
แล้วที่กูนอนอยู่เนี่ย มึงยังต้องถามอีกเหรอ
มึงอยากโทรหาน้องไหม
อยากดิ ได้เหรอ
ฮัลโหลเช่
โหลเฮียหายไปไหนเนี่ย กลับมาไม่
hmm.
เจอ เฮียโอเคดีใช่ไหม
กูติดธุระด่วนน่ะ กูคิดถึงมึงนะ มึงเป็นไงบ้าง
ผมก็คิดถึงเฮียโคตรเจอแป๊บเดียวยังไม่หายคิดถึงเลย ถ้าเฮียว่างอ่ะ แวะมาหาผมอีกนะ
กูรักมึงนะเช่ ดูแลตัวเองดีๆอ่ะ
ผมก็รักเฮียที่สุดในโลกเลย
ขอบคุณนะ ยังเจ็บอยู่มากปะเนี่ย
ไกลหัวใจตั้งเยอะ
ปากยังดีอยู่ แสดงว่าไม่เป็นไรมาก
That can't be comfortable. Why? That seems like a strange way to have your arm, but okay. Well, I guess that was cute. If we rewrite the story, as I said. So let's do that, because otherwise I don't know how I would even try to comment that. So yeah, it's official. We're gonna rewrite the story to try to make it sense. Like, yeah. Otherwise I don't think I can even continue this story, like this series. Like, it's just, yeah. Yeah. But I guess that was cute. Still don't get why Vegas was in that room with the flowers for Porsche if he was after Porsche and not... Didn't make a lot of sense, but let's roll with it. We're rolling with everything else in this series. So I'm just giving up on trying to make sense of it all, I guess. Yeah, what else? I'm guessing I'm still not sure why this isn't in episode 7. Like, why isn't this the first 8 minutes of episode 7? Well, I know why. Because it was Wednesday, and they couldn't release a new Scandal. They had to do something else. Yeah. I'm just gonna let that long silence speak for itself. Once again, if you haven't watched my episode 6 reaction, we have a discussion about their marketing team. A little bit. Yeah. They need a raise. They definitely need a raise. I don't have any comments on this, people. Like, yeah, I guess this was their... It's a BL, people. It's a BL. We know it's weird and we don't get anything, but it's a BL, people. Here, have some sweet BL stuff. And as I said, like before, I don't mind rape. I don't mind druggings. I don't mind the toxic, dark, twisted things. Like, I watched a lot of it. I read a lot of it. That's not what I'm minding here, people. It's the framing, the pacing, the feeling that we have 20 plus characters, no story arc that's actually grounding this story. Like, we have 5 or 6 different story arc, but none of them seems to be the groundwork. Like, is it a love story? Is it a mafia story? Is it... And because they have so many main plot lines and then like 20 plus plot lines scattered outside of that, it's just pulling everywhere, and they wanted to do too much. They wanted to do too much. That's my... Yeah. And the thing they're doing is not... Because it's not dark and twisted. Well, I heard stuff about episode 7, so maybe we're getting into the dark and twisted things. Finally. Because, yeah, I know there was a rape in episode 4. Which I rewrite in my head because that... Like, it was rape. But it wasn't framed as rape. At all. And the aftermath hasn't been framed as rape. A little bit in episode like 5, but that was a day and a half. Then they were kidnapped and they were in the woods and he had forgiven him for a long time ago. But that was basically 3 days. That's... I think people forget about that, but... You know, he was raped. He was having a shitty day. Or 2. He was punished. Then he was sent home. This happened over a course of maximum 4 or 5 days. He was home for like a day. Then Kinn came. Then they were kidnapped and in the woods. So we're talking a week? If we're stretching it, a week and a half. And he says, I have forgiven you a long time ago. It's not like it was 6 months here, people. There is no... I'm not a psychiatrist, but if you're raped, forgiving someone in 1.5 weeks and not calling it Stockholm Syndrome, I don't yeah. So if we're gonna go with the rape, we have to go with the Stockholm syndrome. But otherwise, we can do what I said in the beginning. I don't know. Leave a comment down below what you think. Because I am... Yeah, I've given up. I think I've given up by now. But alright, that was that. I will talk to you next time.